Once upon a time, in a quiet village on the edge of a deep forest, there lived a sweet little girl. Everyone loved her, especially her grandmother, who had sewn her a beautiful red cloak with a hood. The girl wore it so often that people began calling her Little Red Riding Hood. One sunny morning, her mother packed a basket with fresh bread, jam, and a small pot of butter. "Take this to your grandmother," she said. "She's feeling ill. Go straight there and don't talk to strangers." Little Red Riding Hood promised and set off along the forest path. Birds chirped overhead and sunlight streamed through the trees. As she walked, she met a sly wolf, who appeared gentle but had wicked thoughts. "Good morning, little girl," the wolf said smoothly. "Where are you headed today?" "To my grandmother's house," she replied cheerfully. "She's sick, and I'm bringing her some food." "And where does your grandmother live?" the wolf asked, licking his lips. "In the cottage just past the 3 big oak trees," said Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf grinned. "What a lovely day for a walk. Why not pick some flowers for her?" Little Red Riding Hood thought it was a kind idea. She wandered off the path, plucking daisies and forget-me-nots. Meanwhile, the wolf ran ahead, taking a shortcut through the woods. He reached the grandmother's cottage, knocked on the door, and in a soft voice said, "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." "Come in, dear," called the grandmother from her bed. In an instant, the wolf leapt inside. He gobbled her up in one bite, put on her nightgown and cap, and climbed into bed, pulling the covers up to his snout. A short while later, Little Red Riding Hood arrived. She noticed the door was open. "Grandmother?" she called. "Come in, dear," croaked the wolf. Trying to sound old and frail, she stepped inside and found her grandmother in bed. But something felt strange. "Grandmother," she said slowly, "what big ears you have. All the better to hear you with." "My dear," replied the wolf, "and what big eyes you have. All the better to see you with. And what big hands you have. All the better to hug you with. And what big teeth you have. All the better to eat you with," roared the wolf. He leapt out of bed and chased Little Red Riding Hood around the room. Just then, a woodcutter who had been passing by heard the screams. He rushed in with his axe, saw the wolf, and struck him down. Out of the wolf's belly popped the grandmother, unharmed but shaken. Everyone was safe at last. The grandmother had some of the bread and butter, and Little Red Riding Hood promised never to stray from the path again. From that day forward, she remembered her mother's warning and never talked to strangers in the woods. And they all lived happily ever after.